So jump into family, quality time with your family. As you mentioned with your team, you've got to give your team a voice, and you've got to listen and hear what they're saying. You got to do the same thing with your family in order to have productive relationships. And so, how do you ensure that you're giving quality time to listen, engage with all 5 of the people that live in your home?
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, it starts with I married a really unbelievable, amazing lady who is a teacher, naturally a teacher. And my wife is Rachel is very into birth order and understanding love languages. And she has helped make sure that I am coached on that as well.
That's good.
And so we try to give our kids, having 4 kids, one of the things I try to do, not just win collectively with them as a family, but I try to win individually.
Good.
Each one of my kids have different passions. My wife would say I even put too much pressure on myself. So in this rhythm of life, I can put too much pressure on myself weekly, even on trying to win something individually with each of the kids. It doesn't always happen. One of the early wins that I had to be mentored on that has helped is to know every kid has a different personality, and I can't try to make them win through my love language. I have to know theirs. For some, it's words. For some, it's quality time. For some, it's, you know how this works with gifts. And so for me, that's the way that I try to win it with them. For instance, just last week, since you asked this on a voice, and I think it's such a great question. My second son, a topic had came up in the house, and I saw it one way, and my 16-year-old son, he saw it a different way. And my natural reaction was, well, I'm the dad, and I'm thinking this, right? I'm thinking I'm the dad. I'm not here to be his friend. I'm here to be his leader. And that is the truth, and it is the balance. And I had to make a definitive call on a situation, but I called him into the room separate from his siblings. I think this is something that too many parents miss. You can find 10 minutes to call them separate from their siblings. And we had a one-on-one, just asking him, how do you view this?
Yeah.
What does this look like in your mind? How would you, if the roles were reversed? And his perspective was amazing. It was challenging. It was enlightening. And so I think that's one way that I try to win. I've got a little guy right now. So my 16-year-old, he loves golf. I want to win. If I can't win at a round of golf, which may take 4 hours, I can win 30 minutes at the driving range. And somebody with 4 kids and a lot of responsibility and trying to be a wise steward as well, I can win with him on the driving range. My little guy likes disc golf.
And winning on the driving range with him is not just going out and hitting balls. It's having those deeper level conversations while you're hitting balls, right?
Yeah. And his love language is quality time.
Yeah.
His love language is quality time and seconded by words of affirmation. So I'm able to give him his time. And through these words, man, that was a great shot. I can't believe you're out driving me. Through those words, it not only is giving him the time, but it's giving him the affirmation of, and so I'm trying to find those ways to win with my kids individually. I've got one little girl, and 3 boys, and they're all different. And I'm also dealing with a 20-year-old who's, very in love with a young lady right now. I've got all this range of emotions, and you start thinking, did I do everything I was supposed to do? Did I teach everything I was supposed to teach? And I can't ever travel back, but I can make sure that I'm trying to make sure the time I give is quality. It's intentional.
That's good.
So even if you can't give large swaths of your time, you can give intentional time.
Yeah. And I love the fact that you're looking for intentional time on a weekly basis. That seems like a good structure. You can't do it daily. You may do it multiple times in a week, but you're at least looking for that weekly, deeper level connection with each one of them. And that's an important thing.
And that's really what it is. It's like once a week, maybe, with each of them. I don't want anybody to think, how's he really being able to spend time every day with it? That's not possible. I
Yeah.
know it's not possible, but
Yeah.
they can get a genuine look in the eyes, a genuine hug, a genuine, I sure love you. I'm thankful for you. They can get that anytime that you're in their proximity.
So Josh, what does rest look like for you? How do you unwind, recharge? Just you don't have to give anything an elaborate answer, but how do
Sure.
you, in short form, how do you rest and unwind, recharge?
Yeah. Virtue. I'm an outdoors guy.
Mm-hmm.
My two top ways probably of recharging are I recharge alone. I'm not a person that recharges from people. I recharge alone, and I'm constantly in public giving, giving, giving. So I
Yeah.
recharge alone. For me, whether it's going to the woods or whether just sitting in my backyard with a cup of coffee, I recharge in those times alone, soaking it in. When possible, doing very little. I may be listening to something. I may be reading something. I may be on the phone call with one of my top tier closest friends, but it's intentional time that I'm not working. Rest for me is tied to being a healthy version of me. Taking that
Yeah.
time, disconnected from work, disconnected from ministry, disconnected from anyone else's needs, just trying to be a wise steward of allowing virtue. So whether I'm going to the park, whether I'm going to the woods, whether I'm now that may be me going to the driving range by myself
Yeah.
or going and standing on a putting green and just putting.
Yeah.
And so, and again, that has to be, if you can find, you got to find, it's got to be balanced. So like, think about, um, I'm trying to think of the different books that I've read. Maybe Leading on Empty. Cadero is one of the great ones on that too. But weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, how you evaluate, and then for me, it comes back to when it's structured. So I try to
Mm-hmm.
win at least a segment of a day a week in how I get rest.